Good morning. We got a bit of a rainy morning this morning. I wanted to talk about my 100th life update blog post that I just wrote and sent out yesterday, and everything associated with that. I started these blog posts. Well, let me just give a brief context for those that don't follow. I in 2022 July, I think, started writing these blog posts on my website every weekend, Sunday, most Sundays, 90% of Sundays. There were some Saturdays and Mondays thrown in there, but now it's now it's been mostly Sundays. And they're just little highlight reels of my week. You know, what I did, some photos, some things that I'm, you know, it was back then it was mostly like where I went, photos of the places, any like highlights from the week, and that was pretty much it. And over the last 2 years, I have continued to write blog posts every single Sunday, and to the point where I just hit 100. And I think I wanted to talk about why I write these, as well as memories and remembering your life, which is one of, I think, the most, I don't know, I just like it, talking about it and this kind of topic. As I was writing yesterday's blog post, I put in some like superlatives, and I was reliving and scrolling back through all of my past blog posts and thinking about like, oh, what was the one that I was most, proud of, which one took the longest, which one had the most photos, which one was like my most embarrassing story. And that was just such a fun process, going back through essentially all of your weeks and reliving memories, remembering memories. There was this, I was looking for embarrassing stories, and, I did a search for embarrassing, or embarrassment or embarrassing throughout my blog posts, and I came across this story that I forgot about. Because I was like, there are a couple that I remember off the top of my head, but I forgot about this this time in Kuala Lumpur when I kept going back to this like it's it was like a food court, but it was a business. It was like a business that had it was a chain, but it was like a food court chain basically. But they had the most amazing bubble tea, and I kept going back there, and I don't know. It might have been like my fourth time or something. I go up and I order a milk tea, and the guy standing behind the cash register, who I'd seen before, is this big Indian guy, and he like looks up and he's like, "You always order, or you only order milk teas," and I'm like taken aback, and he's like, "We have all of these other teas, and I see you here, and you only order milk teas." And I'm like, all right, listen, listen, listen. So anyway, I was one of those embarrassing stories that I'm sure I have a video for it as well, talking about it. But just like that process of reliving is, I still haven't quite captured the word that describes that feeling. It's like a mix between joy and nostalgia and fun and, happiness or gratitude, something like that. Um, and that feeling is why I write those blog posts. I was in 2021. Yeah, 2021. I was in San Francisco and I took a road trip to, no, this is 2020. I think this was 2020. No, it was 2021. I don't remember now. I need to look at my photos. I took a road trip. It doesn't really matter. I took a road trip from San Francisco to Denver, and on that road trip, I was just thinking about and talking about life. And I made this video talking through some of my thoughts. And I don't know how to lead into this basically, but I was just thinking about what are you going to do when you're 80 or 90 or 95 or 100? You're just chilling in your home and maybe you have grandkids, maybe you do some gardening or whatever. But what are you going to do? Like, what do you have with you? Speaking on a like life and memories level. And I was like, I feel like you're just going to have yourself, your family, and the stories of experiences and memories that you had of your life. And just thinking about that, I was like, I think memories, and the other thing is we lose our memories if we you don't recall them. They fade and details fade over time. And I was just thinking about this, and I was like, I feel like I kept over like years, I kept coming back to like I feel like memories are like important. And as I started to take more photos, um, I created this photo album in my Google Photos that's called Remembering Your Life, which is basically just through just my photos, I pick all of the ones that have an association with a memory, and I just keep those. And I think the plan in the long term is like that is going to be my memory bank. And so that's just my photos. And then these blog posts are have stories in them. And the best time to capture an experience is essentially right after it happened, you know? And so, if you're trying to remember an experience or a memory, the best way to do that would be to have had your past self document it either in the moment or within the like few couple of days or whatever. And so those are kind of my hypotheses and how I, came up with this, I guess. I was also inspired by Johnny Harris has a video. I've talked about this before. How to remember your life through photos or something like that. Really good video, a YouTube video. Very inspired by that. But anyway, I think I keep coming back to memories, and I haven't received any feedback or any negative feedback thus far. Feedback just like from myself. Um, I guess. I mean, I haven't really talked to that many people about this besides you. Um, I haven't received any negative feedback besides the time that it takes to create these that would lead me to believe that my hypothesis is wrong or untrue. And just I had family, well, I didn't have family, but um when my mom was here, we had my her siblings over And my uncle tells he's I think he's 84. He tells the best stories. They are so good, and every time they're just hilarious. Hilarious. And I was thinking back to that, and I was like, that's just an example of what I'm talking about. It's like family eating dinner, chatting about life and, travels and whatever, and telling stories. And I would say okay, maybe not no negative feedback. The biggest reasons why I wouldn't do this, I think, are one, that it takes too much time, and two would be that you end up, what would you say, creating too much noise, like capturing too much. But I have rebuttals for both of those. And I suppose I will end on this. The first thing is, yes, it does take a lot of time. But in my view, this is time well spent, because it's not like you could, to the same degree, wait 5 years and then do this, because your experiences are most fresh right now in the present, you know? And to me, capturing those, I think, is quality work. Another just reason why I like to do this is I like to see the lens into the past of my past self. And whenever I do that, whether it's through photos, or particularly when I reread past like journal entries of like what I was thinking about or struggling with, or um, my dream, or anything like that, it's it's again this feeling that I can't identify, that it's like there's so much perspective and all I can feel is positive emotion. I was thinking about this on my walk, that whether it's an embarrassing story, there's perspective there, that it's like, yeah, that was such an embarrassing story, or whether it was like such a blissful moment, just reliving that. So yes, it takes time, but again, it's not a binary, like, either it takes zero time and you don't do anything, or it takes like your entire week. um it's up to you how much time you would want to spend doing this. And for me, I think I spend more time than a normal person doing this, but again, I this is it's so much fun. And for the noise argument, you can always trim later. It's like when you, I don't know why I just thought about this. I spent the last month renovating my van. Um, you can always cut a piece of wood too long and then cut it shorter, but you can't cut a piece of wood too short and then add onto it? And so, sure, is this bubble tea story of me going to the food court with the Indian guy, is that the highest quality memory that I want to relive on my deathbed? No. But but what about that? It generates that feeling of nostalgia of positive emotion, and it's your life. You lived it. You lived that experience. So anyway, I'm rambling. This is, I don't know. I one of the this is one of these core questions. How do you remember your life, that I have grappled with and enjoyed grappling with? And I think I do more than any normal person does in terms of trying to remember my life. Do I do too much? I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. But for the meantime, I will continue to write blog posts. And if I want to spend less time, I could just write shorter blog posts. But as I continue to watch these childhood videos that my dad sends, which has been so fun, of myself and my brother and my parents doing just the random things of life. Those were moments that I don't remember, but seeing them is a whole new experience. And again, I couldn't help but have a smile on my face watching these. And I think that is the feeling that I'm trying to generate for my future self. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow.